Okay, we're recording.
Oh, well,
Yay, we are recording.
no, no.
Hi. Hi. This is Becky Winnery, and this is the our new channel, Radio Video Archive, and this is Stuart with me again. It's go ahead, your little introduction thingy and.
Introduction to the show, or well, we're talking
Introduction to yourself.
to my show. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we're going to be archiving the Cannabination program, which streams live. You can hear it every week on the radio, Sunday, Monday afternoon, 3:30 Florida time, and Tuesday morning, 9:30, and at WGOT 100.1.
Look at the camera.
Oh, and it's Gainesville. It's in Gainesville, Florida, but it streams live. But now we're going to be archiving the old shows, so you'll be able to pick up the shows any time of the day, anywhere.
Anywhere. And it'll be on YouTube, so you'll be able to see it anywhere
We'll hear it.
live.
Yeah, it's on radio.
Hear it anywhere
yeah.
live. And we just wanted to talk today about things that have been going on in the world, and I like to do the flea market stuff, whatever. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that. And what else did you want to?
We were talking about like the TV shows about the storage auctions. They make it look like people, and flea markets and all this stuff. They make it look like people are making a fortune, and it's really hard work.
And I do, and I don't make a fortune.
No.
It's
Yeah, you don't make a fortune.
No.
You buy these units and you've got like 24 hours to move them, and people accumulate tons of paperwork that are of no use to anyone but them. And they old clothes, old mattresses, old a lot of stuff that's just junk. So
a lot of stuff that has to be thrown away.
Most time you don't find, very seldom do you find real treasures in a flea market. In a storage auction, storage unit.
Right.
People. Unless someone dies or something, it happens sometimes.
Right.
But it mostly, it's just recycling. Things like this happen. People lose their stuff, and it's a form of recycling. It's really.
It is.
It's all it is. It's not. None of us are getting rich. I mean, occasionally, if you do it long, the odds are 1 out of 10 is going to be. You're going to be the one that's going to keep you going. It's going to pay for everything else. Most of the time, you just kind of get by. And on their site, they're showing when they sell at the flea market how, it's just allowing people to get things at a reasonable price with things they really need. And at the end, they sometimes give it away for free. I give tons away for free.
Yeah, we give tons away.
You have to, because...
And then we have our dollar sale, too, so people really like that because... they're getting a good item for $1.
What you're doing is you're giving homeless items a new home.
Right.
That's what it is.
It's from What the Hells, Hi What the Hells, and it's restoring the love. And I really believe in that. It's
when flea markets started back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. It was like people were driving around camping at them overnight. There'd be like the circles around at night where all the old guys would get out their musical instruments and play the bluegrass jams around the campfires.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was a very big social scene, and it was a cultural distribution. Everything from everywhere people were just trading and exchanging back and forth. So all the books, records, comics, everything was out there, so people had all of our cultural heritage was valuable before things went through the sky with collectible mania, which kind of got greed. People started accumulating, just putting things back. There's a word, hoarding.
Oh, hoarding. Yeah.
Hoard things so there's less on the market.
Some people see my house and they think I'm a hoarder, but really I'm not.
You learn not to be.
I am not materialistic or really in any way. I could give it all away, and I don't really care about it all. The only thing I care about is my life my animals, my husband, and take it. You know, I don't care.
Yeah, they've been together like 30 some years, and
Yeah.
it shows the success of love.
It's a story in itself.
Well, they all are.
It is, but
They all are. It's
people really don't believe in long-term marriages anymore. They're few and far between.
it's
And,
nice when you see one like this. This
yeah.
works. When people work together. It's,
I've met people at the flea market too who've been married for 40 years, 43 years, or have gotten me beat, and I'm just like, wow. I mean, my husband and I, we've been married for 33 years now, so it's been a while, but I really love to see the older couples that are really still together, who've been married that 40, 50 years.
they're a joy to be around, aren't
It's
they? They have a
exciting.
neat character, a neat aura about them.
Yeah, it is.
They're very nice, and they're very
Right.
down to earth. I've met a lot of them, and
And-
they're rarer and rarer, but they're nice.
And on that note, I would also like to say that this is for entertainment purposes only. It's for our channel, and take what you want from it. It's your choice to discern what is truth, what is false, what rings true for you, what's your vibration about it, what you're feeling about it. So these things ring true to us, and that is why we wanted to share it with the world. So so I just wanted to get that out of the way and say that, say that it's entertainment, whatever.
Well, we want to be entertaining.
Right? we
That's what
try
I
to
try.
be entertaining.
I try on the radio show to make it entertaining every time. It
Right,
doesn't matter what points you're
right.
making, if it's not pleasant to people to absorb.
Exactly. If it's not, yeah.
So we don't have any music in the background of this talk, but
Right.
I try to do that a lot on the radio lately, and now when I
yeah.
did it last time, I had the music playing and then was talking over it, and I realized it's almost like rap music.
But I don't like it. I don't like the music in the background because it takes us away from the point you're actually trying to get across to people. So that's why I don't like that. But
Well, I mean, sometimes it might work. I
and
think
sometimes
I've got
does,
it better.
like-
It depends what the music is and the beat, and how you pace it, how you time it as you're speaking.
and what the volume is.
Volume,
Turn the
it's all a lot
if-
of technicalities.
If you can turn the volume way down, then that's okay.
I mean, we're all just starting off, since the media dissolved, and we have to replace it, and it's given
Yay!
to everyone in the world. It's like, okay.
What am I gonna do?
I always thought my life was more interesting than most movies I saw anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you on that one.
Yeah, the way y'all are doing it, you and your husband, with the auction, that's pretty much the only way to do it. You can't do it by yourself. It's too much hard work. There's too many things that are too hard to lift by one person.
Right.
And there's just
yeah.
a lot of factors.
Yeah. Like, if my husband wasn't here and I had to do it by myself, I would probably just buy like little teeny, 4x4 or 5x5 lockers or something, and empty it myself because there's no way. We just bought a 12x24 locker on my last video, and I had just put that out like Sunday night, last night. So if I had to do that, there's no way that I would be able to lift all that heavy furniture by myself. I mean,
There's other factors too.
My back already hurts. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. I'm thanking God and everything that my husband is still here with me, and
It's a major
and that
recycling operation. I remember it was like 3 years ago. Steve and Becky bought a unit at an auction I was at, And when they went in there and opened it up, there was a freezer in there. They opened the freezer, and you've never smelled something so rank in your life. Old meat that had been there for years. It can be dangerous sometimes. There's possibility of diseases, and many times I have found, and lots of other people have found too, urns with people's ashes in them.
Right.
And one time I didn't know it was in there, and the guy I hired to clean out the rest of it, the time someone got a hold of me about it, it had been brought to the dump.
Yeah.
So things happen.
It does. It does.
I don't know if that's interesting to people,
That-
but
No.
not really.
He was just talking about the freezer being rank. Oh my God, that doesn't even touch. And I was not going to load that on the trailer. I did not load that on my trailer. I said, here, you can have my $200 deposit, whatever it was, and get rid of it yourself, because I'm not touching that.
They were nice with you, because most
That
places, no matter what,
Right.
they
Most places, no matter what,
if you don't clean it out, you can never go back.
you can never go back.
And
Right.
but I've had a few do that for me. One I bought that was so full of junk, not quite as bad as yours, but it was impossible.
Yeah.
It was all it was all burnt, half burnt wood, and all kinds of just terrible stuff. You try
Oh,
to
my
pick it up, and it
goodness.
was all covered with black soot. And
Oh.
and so the people at the storage unit let me out from under it. Just
Oh,
had the
thank
maintenance
God.
people do it, but it was terrible.
Sometimes
Dangerous,
they're
not
really
safe.
nice, and they actually will work with you. I mean,
Yeah,
if
sometimes.
you ask, this last place that we just bought was a 12 by 24, like I said, and it said that you had 24 hours to get it out, and I was like, what? And I called the lady, and she was really nice, and she called her boss, and he said, you can have until Friday. So that actually gave us 2 whole days, and we got it done.
You'd be
But-
amazed how much work it is.
Wow, it's a lot of work.
Lot
It's
of
a
work.
lot of garbage.
A lot of runs to the dump.
It's a lot of runs to the dump. It's a lot of going through things and recycling and
Figuring what goes
what's,
where.
what's donation, what is sell, what is keep, what, you know.
And what
I
you
mean,
were saying earlier about materialism, after a while of doing this, you become less materialistic because you see everyone accumulating this stuff and then they lose it all. And you realize that everything is transitional material, like we were talking about
It is.
before.
Oh, it is
The
so
important thing is
transitional.
love and relationships. That's the main foundation, even more than what a lot of things we think as necessity are actually luxury. Because if you have anyone that's known what love can be, is something no material thing can ever replace.
no.
And you can be happier in a tent with love than you can in a mansion without it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Absolutely.
And it's what's missing in our world, in our consumerized materials world. It's made like it's a commodity. They put women on, they put all the makeup on, and they act like their body is their commodity, and a woman is so much more. And when two people merge the souls together, it's beyond anything that money can buy,
That's right.
that any one person can create. That's what we're meant to be. We weren't created like we are if that wasn't what we were supposed to do. And when it happens, that's why you're here on this planet. And that's what we need to do. That's what people need to realize.
I do believe that we're here. One of the reasons we're here, one of the main reasons that we're here, is to learn about love and how to treat people, and treat them as you would want to be treated.
I can tell a love story here that might be interesting. When I was a teenager, there's this place called Moss Park in north of Apopka in Orange County, Florida. And it's a park where everyone went, and there was a river there and places to walk. And there was one area where all of us teenagers and cannabis, psychedelic people hung out, and the rest of it was all families and everything. And one Sunday there was a big party planned, and there was thousands of us that showed. And towards late in the afternoon, suddenly, now this is going to seem very unusual, but this actually happened. I don't think no one has ever related this story, but I'm a witness to it. And I do remember it clearly, even though there's details that might make you think that I imagined it, but it really did happen. So about 3 o'clock, we started seeing some armored cars coming in. by 4 o'clock, there was about 80 armored vehicles, military type vehicles. There was rows of soldiers, troops, like military, like National Guard, but even more so, with real weapons in lines, hundreds of them. And like I say, 80 of the vehicles. Some of the people that had been there with their family all day went to their trunks and got out rifles and shared them with each other and joined the ranks. And so we were surrounded. There was a few thousand of us surrounded by, this semicircle of police, military, sheriffs, and they wanted to kill us. It was extreme. We were totally harmless, and the hatred and the anger towards us was so intense, and all we were doing was using cannabis, picnicking, swimming, hiking, meeting each other, socializing. It was people from 15 to 30 years old for the most part.
That sounds like a rainbow.
There was nothing. It was before the rainbow. It wasn't even like a rainbow. It was just regular people. We were all, half of us were in high school at the time.
Right.
So anyway, like I say, this was a psychedelic cannabis thing, and my girlfriend at the time, we were using a psychedelic at the time, and we knew what to do. And the two of us, me and my girl at the time, Andrea, we walked, wonderful woman, wonderful girl, we walked to the center of that semicircle. It was 100 yards from the police, and 100 yards over there was all our people. And we were in the center of that semicircle, and we just embraced each other, not sexually, not sensually. We just embraced, and we gave out energy of love. And for us on our psychedelics, we could feel that vibration and see it emanating everywhere. And we could see the effect on everyone, especially the soldiers. And we stood there for 2 or 3 minutes and held each other in silence. Everyone was in awe. And then we could feel and see the change, and the police and things started to confer, and they let us all leave. Now the epitaph to this is that the road from Moss Park to Apopka is quite a few miles, and it was like hundreds of us in vehicles caravanning out of there, and we had to go like 2-3 miles an hour because it was such a traffic jam. And along the roadway were hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of locals in many cop vehicles and professional, emergency vehicles and such for miles. And we had to go 2 or 3 miles per hour. Most of us were still on psychedelics and things. And these people hated us. They were spitting at us. They were yelling at us. They were grimacing at us. They were throwing things at us.
Jeez.
They acted like they wanted to really hurt us. Now, the reason I'm going into this is because I want to show what the psychedelic movement is really about, what love is really about, and what this repression of the psychedelic movement has really been about, and what this prohibition has really meant.
Wow.
So I'm giving this to the world. I have lots more stories. Maybe next time I'll tell you the story of the rock festival that was raided by the police a few years later near Gainesville.
Wow.
So I'll tell that next time.
That's amazing.
I came in with the promoters and totally know the story on that one. Go ahead.
Wow. That is an amazing story.
It did happen exactly as I said. Psychedelics or no, my memory is totally clear.
You were like right in the middle, and then you were like right in the middle of it, and you were like hugging, and you were raising your vibrations.
We could see it because we were on psychedelics. You could see the colors going out.
And you could see it. We could see it. That is so amazing. I mean,
that's what it's about.
It's what it's about, and people need to hear it.
They need to understand.
Need to see it. They need to understand.
People still don't know what it's about. What love, what we really meant by love.
Right. And in my song, I have a couple of songs that I wrote, and I don't know that I want to sing them here, but it's all about love. It's all about love.
And they're living it. Her and her husband are living it.
And what we do with this life. Mm-hmm.
There's so many levels to love that people it's so materialistic now, and they sexualize it, and they make it like a competitive thing. It's so sad, and it's not meant to be that way.
And it's not meant to
Not
be
meant
that
to
way.
be that way. It's the
And,
ultimate
and
beauty,
women
the
are
ultimate
not
achievement of our
supposed to be
lives.
degraded, and
They really are.
and they really are, especially if you see those women's commercials, and
They do.
I mean,
They commodify women.
They're commodifying everything.
Everything.
I mean,
Love.
little skimpy, you know, and making them look that way, and you know, and it's not like I don't appreciate a beautiful woman or a handsome man. I do. It's not that.
Beauty goes
It's
to the
that the
core.
way that, yes, but it's the way they're pushing it on people to look a certain way or to have a certain thing. And that's all about materialism, and it's not about love.
Homogenizing everything to be the same. We're all different and unique.
Right.
And we should appreciate that uniqueness. When you meet someone, you don't expect them to be exactly like you. The difference is the beauty of it. It's part of the whole experience. In a real relationship, you become a different person. You're going to merge with that person. You're going to grow and change. It's going to add dimensions that you'll never find on your own.
Right.
And that's why, you know, since it's been 4 years since the medical establishment killed my long-term relationship with their medicines and drugs, and
the pharmaceutical
what they did to her in the end
companies.
was pretty bad mentally, you know. And for 4 years, I've been hiding from women. I'm afraid of them, and
Yeah.
only recently did I realize that all my life I had.
We're not all bad.
Yeah, all my life
You
I had
know,
been.
we're not all bad.
The girls that come to me, and I would just fall into relationships, and I thought, I haven't been going to the women that really impressed me, that I really want, because I didn't think I was worthy of it or something, did it self-confidence. And finally I realized that, hey, I might as well try.
That's right.
I did that for the first time in my life a few weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I actually,
You are worthy, though.
I know I am.
And
That's why I decided.
You're
reprogram
worthy
myself.
in every way, shape, and form. You are worthy. I am worthy.
We all deserve it. It's our human right.
On this earth is worthy.
It's our human heritage.
And it's our human heritage. It's our human right
To have love.
to
and
have
a true
love
relationship.
and to be
and
loved.
And a mate that will work with you. If you do it for life, great. That is the most. It doesn't always work that way, but if you can, that is the best.
It is.
We know it's the best. I know from. I just talked to an 80-year-old couple the other day where I live, and they were so youthful and so happy and so positive and
Wow.
so successful.
I love that. I love
Yes.
stories like that.
Yes.
It's like,
And they've been
woo!
together 50 years, you know, or even longer. Meet as in
Yeah.
teenagers in high school and first love and
Oh,
stay together.
I met.
They
I
work
met
better
a
than any.
couple- Oh yeah, I met a couple like last week like that, who were childhood sweethearts. You know,
That's
and they were
exactly
like
right.
70, 80 years old. All the
They're a
wow,
pleasure to
just
be around,
amazing.
and they become creative, and they're really good citizens of society.
Yeah.
It's the way we're meant to be. It's just our human rights. It's just
And
basic.
yeah, it's definitely.
Well, I wanted to talk about that. I guess we covered it pretty well. I don't know if anyone is really talking about it. I've been all over. Like I said, the first time this year, I finally checked out YouTube, and I'm looking all over. I haven't seen anyone. I'm trying to cover things that they're not talking about.
Right.
I
Right.
don't see this. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Maybe.
I haven't seen too much of it lately,
No.
though. Yeah.
People are too wrapped up in what is supposedly the newest thing. And, you know, we're eternal creatures. You know, our
We are definitely eternal
our
creatures.
personalities, our matrix of our souls, our brains, you know, we've been around a long time. And we're deep even when we didn't have this technology, even deeper.
Oh, yeah.
We were much more, I mean, look at the creativity of some of the people hundreds and hundreds of years ago. I'm not sure if that's happening right now. I'm sure it is
well,
on some level.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. We got
I
to stay
have
positive.
hope, and I do believe that
We're still here, and there's going to
things
be,
are
the light
on
is
their
going to
way up.
rise and take down the darkness that's been enveloping our planet for so
Yeah.
long. The light is going to rise.
we need to take down the darkness.
Code
that's
enforcement,
been-
I hope you got all your codes up to.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Code enforcement. I know.
Hi.
Animal control was closed today because I talked to him about the, the attack I got last week. Yeah, because they were supposed to quarantine that dog and lock him in the back bedroom.
So he was bit by a dog last week, and this is.
Yeah, and they're still allowing that dog to run loose in the yard. When he jumped out of his car,
really,
jumped out of people's truck and attacked me. So there's a lot of kids in the neighborhood. I went around to all the neighbors to keep their kids away from there because they're letting the dog out in the yard.
Can I help you?
He's lost, probably.
Okay.
You're on YouTube. You get to see law enforcement in action here.
Yeah, they don't actually come out here much.
No, only if someone calls. You're not gonna. No one's gonna bother you unless you're. So that's Marion County Code Enforcement. For the most part, they leave us alone. And it's not.
For the most part, I don't know why he came back here and.
He's lost. He's
lost.
Well, I don't know. Code enforcement shouldn't be lost. They don't. I've never known them to go up and down roads and look for things. And it doesn't look like he's really looking at things. So he might have just like when the first time I came here a week or two ago, I got lost.
Oh yeah.
I got lost.
Did you?
It's easy. So I don't know if they're interested in that, but you can cut it if you need to.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's all human. We're just.
Yep, we're just human beings.
Did you build on this part of this porch?
He did, yes.
Oh, he did a good job.
Yeah.
He's a good carpenter. Good to have a guy that knows carpentry.
He's like a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
He does a little bit of everything and.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it when I first met him.
A little bit of everything and a little bit of nothing. Actually, he did. He pretty much does it all.
Well, you're building your little empire, your little world, together, and you have that togetherness.
Yep.
And that is your treasure. And the rest of the things are just so that you can all keep going. The real treasure is a relationship, not the material things.
Right.
That's the real treasure.
The real treasure is relationships, plural. Like friendships. And that's why I like to go to the flea market because
it's the only place
you meet people. You get to meet different people and talk to them. And my husband Stephen, he loves talking to the older gentlemen we meet at the flea market. Because they got stories.
They sure do.
They got
knowledge.
Some stories. They got knowledge. They got stories, and they like to talk. And it's all good. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's good. The flea markets were even more a social scene years ago. They're less so right now.
Yeah.
We're hoping it's going to come back.
I hope it makes a comeback.
Yeah, the resurgence.
I'm praying it makes a comeback because people need to, be human and be people again and
yes, we
be
do.
in contact with people.
Don't hide from each other. Be afraid from each other.
Right.
If you're gonna believe what they say and be high, just stay home and rot away in your house. But if you want to be part of life, go out there and be part of life.
Exactly.
But don't expect us to be afraid of each other out here in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not afraid of each other.
No.
We're not going to be afraid. We're not going to live our human existence like that.
No, we're not going to. We don't consent to that.
We do not consent.
I do not. I know. I do not consent to war, violence, pain. Being a zombie, I don't consent to that,
Or anyone saying that they have the right to make the rules for the rest of us.
Right. They do not have the right.
We learned that long ago, and the cannabis people learned that long ago, and now a lot of people are learning it. That, no one has the right to tell anyone what to do or to control anyone's life unless they're hurting another person.
Right.
In any way, then that's where laws, rules, regulations, governments, all that stuff come in. To protect us from danger.
Right.
And if sometimes people become dangerous, or even groups of people become.
But
dangerous.
if they're dangerous, then they should be put somewhere. And I'm not saying behind bars because
no, the prison system doesn't work.
That's inhumane.
No, they need to just rehabilitate people in a different way.
Right.
Put people on good food and good medication. I mean, good natural supplements and things.
Natural.
They're not getting any good food, so of course they're operated. They're getting weird stuff on TV, on the computers. The food and the medicine. I mean, the storage units. People lose their storage units a lot because they get
so sick and they die.
They get hooked on these pharmaceuticals.
Happens.
The boxes full of medicines that they're on are a common occurrence in most storage units, quite a few of them.
Yeah.
And then a lot of them get in trouble with the law.
Right.
And they got boxes and boxes of paperwork with their interaction with law enforcement and things.
Yeah.
So, and diseases happen, and people go to jail. And the jail system just makes everything worse. Everything worse.
It does.
It really does. Doesn't help anything at all.
No, except for putting money in their pocket.
And laws on things that should not be crimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely should not be crimes.
No.
You know.
And for those people who are in jail right now for smoking marijuana or whatever, they should be let free.
Absolutely.
Just let them go.
And no record.
They are not causing any harm to anyone.
Never have.
Never have.
Unless you're into other drugs as well. Now, if you're the coke dealer that smokes pot as well, that's a different deal.
That's a different deal.
People on the pharmaceutical drugs and smoke a little pot. The cannabis will enhance whatever you're doing. If you're using really bad drugs, if you're eating bad food, isn't going to help you. I never could understand why people would get into cannabis and not want to learn to garden, get back to nature, get into natural food, vitamins, herbs.
Right.
You know, vegetarianism. It's all part of the same thing.
Right.
That's why it's been illegal.
I truly believe that.
The big money will lose a lot.
It's what what food we put in our mouths.
And pot, cannabis is food. It's food. It's not even THC. It's it's all food. It's nutrients. Our receptors. It's us.
Yeah.
We have been linked to that plant more than we may even know in our lifetime.
More than we know.
Yeah, there's more to this than on the surface. Or the repression would not still be happening.
Right.
We know that it's can replace about half of the pharmaceutical drugs. And that's a big thing right there. And half the alcohol use. Half the tobacco use. Cannabis flowers. The hemp flowers replace.
I was going to talk about alcohol. I think alcohol is a terrible drug. I
haven't seen much good from it. It shouldn't be prohibition. It can be used properly.
I mean, it can be used properly.
Yeah, of course.
I understand that.
Yeah, no laws against it.
But it's not like marijuana has actually killed people. But alcohol has.
Yeah.
I mean, a drunk gets behind a wheel and runs somebody over. That's murder. They actually killed somebody.
And cannabis does not affect your driving ability at all.
Right.
That's a big scam. They're just trying to pretend to continue the laws about inebriated driving and
such. And
it's not the same.
And I'm sorry, and I'm going to say this on camera, on live, on YouTube. I'm going to say it. It's a bunch of bullshit.
It really is. In 1969, it was overdue for legalization. Most of the population didn't want to pursue this. And now they know they can't continue it, because everyone knows it's not harmful. And realistically, those of us that have been arrested and harassed, we deserve some money, whatever color we are.
Whatever.
We deserve something for what they've done to us.
Yeah.
At least let us grow our own and not have to spend these exorbitant prices on it.
Well, the thing is to be free. And Cindy K. Courier, she actually wrote the Law of the Land Handbook. And I wasn't going to talk about this time, but it brings up the point that everything needs to be a free and living system. All living systems
I like that. Free
should
and
be
living
free.
system. You bet.
Free.
Free.
Freedom. I mean, freedom. Free from harassment. Free from tyranny. Free from these corporates, that think they're God, that think that they can do anything they want without any trouble, and it's wrong.
creeping up on us for decades,
Oh yeah,
if not hundreds of years.
hundreds of years, I think.
Yeah,
I think.
really, it became really entrenched in the 1910s, 1918 or so.
Yeah.
It really that whole thing, this whole thing we're living under, was established at that time,
Right.
and it's a continuation of things
and-
that shouldn't be.
And it's actually, the United States is actually a corporation. If you actually read Cindy K. Courier's book and everything, it's the Law of the Land Handbook. You can look it up online. Her channel is YouTube is Rise Together, and she actually has written all these things that talk about what it is and why they did it, and it's all control, because they wanted control of everything and everybody.
You know, some
So
people.
it's up to us right now to sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Go ahead. No problem.
You know, it's up to us right now to have discernment and see through their lives. You
And
know,
don't be afraid of the
and
truth.
don't be afraid of the truth. Don't be in fear at all. You know, don't be in fear.
And don't
Live in love. Live in peace. Live in harmony, and decide what if what they're doing is not right. Then we need to stand up and do something about it. Then we need to have conversations like this to put out to the public, and
don't just blindly believe.
and don't just exactly, don't just blindly believe, and because people have been zombified for years, you know.
The people that are evil are made to look good. The people that are good are made to look evil. The way
It's all
been a while.
backwards. It's backwards.
It really is. And I mean, even in the psychedelic movement, there's two groups. I won't go into the names on the internet right now on YouTube. One of them is a traditional one that was started by Timothy Leary, carrying on freedom and truth ethics and things. And another one is one attacking that group. It's just propped up out of nowhere and accusing them of being conspiracy theorists and they actually had the ignorance to they're saying, oh, this other group, the Timothy Leary group, is talking about globalism, and globalism is just a front word for anti-Semitism. I thought, how ignorant.
Yeah.
How ignorant.
How ignorant.
You know, globalism is not a bunch of Jews connected. It's not, and this is not a racial thing. That's
No,
racial.
it doesn't have anything to do with race.